Okay. Um, hey guys, how's it going? So I'm actually showing a different view today. And first things first, I'm curious to know what are your thoughts? Do you like this view? If you like this perspective better than the previous perspectives that you've been seeing on this channel, please let me know, and I'm going to start recording in that format. That said, this morning I am going from New West. I'm going all the way to Kitsilano. So, no, I don't want you to take me through here. So, he spotted those kids and was going to just jerk on me. But I'm here to put in an address, so I'm going to ask Grok. Hey, Grok, can you take me to 2790 West 3rd Avenue, Vancouver?
Sure. Navigating to 2790 West 3rd Avenue in Vancouver, about 19 kilometers away. ETA, around 30 to 40 minutes, depending on traffic.
So this is part of the problem that you have, Grok. You said you're navigating there, but you still haven't navigated there. You're going to take me to go a different route, so I have to take over. Can you navigate me to that address right away, please? So you see,
Got it.
So you see, you almost have to do it multiple times for Grok to work. It's a new addition, so I would expect that after some time, it will get ironed out. However, for now, it is still what it is. It's still not quite ironed out, because otherwise, the moment I mentioned it to it, it should have just navigated me. It was going to turn right here and just going all the way to the tip of the island. There is no exit out from that place, so I had to take over. So I wouldn't count that as an intervention. Still qualifies as sort of like end-to-end. I should have sorted out the navigation part of it before I even got into the car. Anyway, it's a kind of a day with lots of shadows, with a kind of gloomy day. Not as bright as one would like, but it's winter, so this is what you expect. And I was talking to my sister earlier on today. She's out there in Calgary, and it says the weather feels like minus 32. And I'm like, well, I can't relate. Anyway, this morning I'm going to talk you guys through some of the latest news in the world of EV. Some interesting things have happened. Twitter was abuzz over the weekend. There was light out in California, in San Francisco, and so the old age Waymo versus Tesla debate. You see lots of quite a number of robo taxis moving on the road, while the Waymos are stuck. They couldn't operate without the lights, which I think is an edge case and something for Waymo to now work on. Because if it is an autonomous system that I expect to take me from one place to the other, I'm not going to take the excuse that, oh, there was lights out, and then because there were no traffic lights, I'm stuck in the middle of the road. I can't go anywhere. I will show some videos here for you guys to see.
And the impacts widespread, both inside and, of course, on the streets as well. The power outage reportedly disrupted Waymo service. Numerous people seeing cars and shared videos like this of the vehicles just stalled at intersections right in the middle, apparently confused because the traffic lights were out. Waymo later shared on its app that it had paused service with no word on when it would resume.
The Waymo obviously got stuck in the middle of the road, whereas the Teslas, they just treated the intersection
during the
where there is no
blackout.
light.
Tesla's autonomous robot taxis with a safety driver kept running, and CEO Elon Musk
FSD
said it proved their reliability.
Has shown capabilities to handle before. I've shown you guys time and again where I've been driving, and I get into an intersection where it's uncontrolled. it's kind of nervy. I get nervous at such places because even as a human driver, especially when you have, cars parked on both ends, you can't see anything. But then FSD has kind of time and again proven itself and handled those very well. That said, would that mean Waymo is crap and it's not good enough or anymore? No, I don't think so. But then it's not crap, but it's not good enough. It should be able to. That's an edge case that they probably didn't factor in. Now they should factor it in and fix it. If they can't fix it, then we have a problem. But if they can fix it, then I'm of the school of thought, of the opinion that when there's competition is better. Competition gives us better products, gives the customers or the consumers, gives them a better value for their money. So if Waymo is doing great, Tesla FSD is doing great, Rivian's Universal Hands-Free is doing great. Even if the Chinese companies BYD had to come here, I'm going to talk about BYD down the line as part of this video. I should keep that in mind. If they come in as well, it's better for the competition. So yeah, that was something, certainly an edge case that I find interesting when the lights go out, when there's power, because the cars are using battery. They have enough power in them already to take you from your origin to your destination. So they should be able to move around without the lights. Don't just get stuck at the traffic light because there's no traffic light. That's not good enough. Not good enough. Now you see right now, the person at that intersection is in my blind spot. The person crossing the road now. Now they just move into my vision. Or all along, the way in my blind spot. This person coming as well is going to get into my blind spot. Now he's in the A pillar. I can't see them at all right now, but the car can see them clearly. Right now, the other person too is in my is also in the A pillar spot, but the car can see them clearly. So these are like the edge case, not even edge case. These are the instances where I believe the FSD system drives better than humans. Now it says I'm going way too fast. That's actually I'm driving to traffic. That's basically my excuse or my argument. So talking about the latest things in the world of EVs, it also made the news that Ford is canceling its Ford Lightning production. Ford Lightning, for those who do not know, is the EV section or EV branch of Ford Motors. It's a truck, just the regular Ford F-150, but then this time around it's an EV. I guess for so many reasons, say they are not selling as well as they should, and for a bunch of other reasons, and they are canceling it. It's quite unfortunate because my school of thought is the more the merrier, the more competition, the better. But if a company is not making sales, then it makes sense why they would cancel, right? It makes sense why they would pull out. But I think it's multiple steps back. We are regressing, especially given the fact that the world is trying to move towards a more sustainable forms of power, like to power cars, to power your grids and whatnot. It's what's it doing? What did he avoid? Oh, okay. The car, it was thinking the car was, was going to hold on. I wanted to go around. I was wondering what happened. Anyway, so yeah, it's a sad day, if you want to use that expression. I would really wish that it would have been nice if we did not get to that point where it's something that they have to cancel. Actually, let's ask Grok. Hey Grok, what did you hear about Ford canceling its EV trucks? What happened? What's the news on that one?
Ford just ended production of the all-electric F-150 Lightning truck. It's not profitable, demand's weak, and they're taking a $19.5 billion hit to pivot. Instead, they'll bring back a new Lightning as an extended range version with a gas generator for 700 miles of range. Plus, focus on hybrids and smaller, affordable EVs.
So is this particular one that has 700 mile range, is it going to be a hybrid of some sort? Because what do you mean by gas generator?
Yeah, it's a series hybrid setup. The electric motors drive the wheels, but a small gas engine acts purely as a generator to recharge the battery on the go, giving it that 700-mile total range without a huge battery. No direct gas power to the wheels, so it's still mostly EV with hybrid backup for longer trips.
So, but then would you still be able to charge this car at home?
Yes, you'll still be able to plug it in at home and charge the battery like any EV. The gas generator is just an optional range extender for road trips, not the main power source. It keeps all the home charging perks with extra flexibility.
Thank you. So, I actually didn't even know that before now. I just knew that it said, oh, no, I'm not playing that right now. So I wasn't thinking about, I wasn't aware of that information before now. So it's interesting to hear that they want to come up with a hybrid setup. If that's what they are going to do to stay in the sort of like, EV space, then I think I'll take it for now. Although, like I said, it's a sad day if a company goes. And this is something I tell all these so-called Tesla influencers that, if all these companies, if they do well, it's a win for everybody. I know you guys, many of them are trying to protect their share price and whatnot, but you should not. If the company is good enough, if the product is good enough, monopoly serves no one. Monopoly serves no one except the person holding the monopoly. So it makes sense for consumers, it makes sense for the rest of us. But of course, in this case, being shareholders, they technically are also also part of those holding the monopoly. They are part of the company. So maybe it makes sense why many of them argue in that manner. But it would be nice if, if this system is available, for much more companies and there's competition, it makes way more sense. There's also another update regarding in the world of EVs. I don't know if you guys saw this video that was trending, BYD in China, where a car was able to get, I think, like 400 kilometers of range within 5 minutes. Let's ask Grok actually. Hey Grok, what's the news about BYD's car that can charge up to 400 kilometers within 5 minutes? Is that true?
Yeah, it's legit. BYD announced their Super E platform back in March, with megawatt chargers adding 400 kilometers of range in 5 minutes on models like the Han L. They're rolling out stations in China now, way faster than Tesla's superchargers.
What do you think? Do you think it'll be better it will be nice if BYD is able to come into Canada or US or say the North American market, for instance? What do you think?
Yeah, it'd be awesome if BYD hits North America. More competition means cheaper EVs, faster charging options like that 5-minute boost, and better choices for everyone. Pushing Tesla and others to innovate harder? Total win for buyers like us.
Guys, Grok echoes my complete sentiment. Who owns Grok? Elon Musk. So, whatever it is, Grok is saying the truth. We get to be the winners. Like, consumers get to be the winners. All these attempt to stifle competition only hurts consumers. Because imagine if I can get a BYD that will charge 400 kilometers in 5 minutes, Tesla will be pushed to also advance and innovate. Because if BYD can do it, that means the technology exists. That means Tesla can do it and even do it even better. So at the moment that we don't have it, it's not because it's not possible. It's because Tesla is not hot on its heels, has nothing hot on its heels that's pushing it to get it done. And that's why we're stuck where we are. So, it goes without saying, competition is better for those of us who are consumers. Let's ask Grok if there's any other updates in the world of EV. Because right now, this car is doing what I expect it to do. Nothing unusual has happened yet. And I'm not testing anything. I'm just going somewhere and just observing and seeing how it handles. Like it already picked up that truck as it's merging. Normally, okay, it's going to merge ahead. Otherwise, normally it's going to move into this other lane over here and then join back in later. But right now, I think because it's making, as you can see, it's coming in over here. It decided not to make that maneuver. Hey Grok, can you give me some more? What are some other things that are happening in the world of EVs, in the world of Tesla? Keep me up to speed.
Tesla's rolling out their 2025 holiday update with Grok navigation commands, upgraded Santa mode, and 3D supercharger views at pilot spots. They're pushing big end-of-year incentives like 0% financing to boost sales amid a US EV slowdown, while expanding battery production to 8 gigawatt hours a year at their German factory by 2027. Broader EV world, Ford's taking a $19.5 billion hit, scrapping some models like the F-150 Lightning. EU's softening their 2035 combustion ban, and global sales hit 18.5 million through 11 months, despite battery metal gluts.
So, we've basically talked about everything except the slowdown of, the EU kind of slowdown too, because with the way it is now, even the EU is not going all out on the EV mandate. And I'm going to say this, this is an argument I've always made in, talking about sustainability. So if your electric grid is not powered by a renewable source, say maybe it's like a hydrothermal system, if it's powered by a non-renewable source, it's still not net positive for sustainability, because you're only powering an EV, a renewable energy, with a non-renewable source. It doesn't make sense. And in many countries, that's actually how it works, unfortunately. So that sense, I think it doesn't make sense. The other argument I have against EV, even though I drive one, you guys might find this interesting, is the source of some main components of EVs. Cobalt, for example, which is a good chunk of the car, of the battery makeup. One of the biggest cobalt producers in the world is DR Congo. That country is in a mess. Maybe I get more sort of agitated about this because I'm African myself. It's that company is in a mess, and a big part of it is because of its resources and how the West has kind of pillaged that country. And it's not stopping. It has only evolved, from diamonds, from the gold and whatnot, now to cobalt, which is like the new gold, right? And some other rare earth metals. So it's sad that so those particular resources, they are still non-renewable, and they go into the making of EVs. So what's the argument? Gas versus EV? I just think it's just another evolution that's happening with respect to automobiles, like with how we went from, horse-drawn carts, or riding donkeys and horses, to horse-drawn carts, to, full-blown cars, and then, metamorphosing gradually up until what we have, gas-powered cars, much more technologically advanced gas-powered cars, and now EVs. So if some countries are slowing down, if there's no demand for it, well, I'm not surprised. It's bound to happen, I would say, at some point, unfortunately. Any other updates aside those you previously mentioned in the world of EV?
Global EV sales are up 21% this year to 18.5 million through 11 months, though US sales might dip 2% overall. Big shifts too. EU softened its 2035 zero-emission mandate to 90% cuts. Ford's pulling back with a $19.5 billion hit.
You said that before.
Solid-state batteries from Toyota and others are hitting 500-plus mile ranges with 10-minute charges, aiming for production by 2027. China's BYD just dropped a new 5-minute ultra-fast charger, hitting 800 kilowatts, and Tesla's robot taxi event is set for October next year, with unsupervised full self-driving rolling out wider.
I have a question for you. Do you think, with the way the Tesla setup is currently, do you think we would really hit unsupervised self-driving next year? Also factor in Elon Musk's grandiose statements that never come to pass. Do you think it will actually happen?
Honestly, with Tesla's current setup and Elon's history of optimistic timelines, like the robot taxi reveals that keep slipping, I doubt unsupervised full self-driving hits widely next year. They're making progress on FSD version 13.2, but regulatory hurdles, safety data gaps, and real-world edge cases make full deployment by late 2026 feel more like wishful thinking than a sure bet.
I think you slip up there. Did you say FSD 13.2? Right now I have 14.2.1.25. So I think you are one whole version behind there.
You're right, my bad. FSD is at version 14.2.1.25 now, with solid improvements in version 14 over 13. Still, even with that progress, Elon's timelines for unsupervised full rollout next year feel overly ambitious given regs and testing needs.
So there you go. Elon's own Grok doesn't think it's going to happen next year. Honestly, it would be nice for me to replay this sometime next year and say, actually, I was wrong. But I think more likely than not, it's going to be, I told you so, Grok told you so. So, well, fingers crossed, we'll wait and see how that pans out. I've noticed something while I'm not recording though, and it has happened a few times. I hope I'm going to catch it on record today, at least at some point. I noticed that the car would hesitate to make a merge. It would hesitate greatly. Like, it would be indicating that it wants to go, for instance, indicating it wants to go right. And there is enough room for it to make the merge, but it would not do it. Which is not good enough. What are you doing? It's supposed to merge here. That's why there's a line up. Oh my word. Now it's stuck here. One of those cars will probably be wondering, I'm not going to let you get in front of me. This truck is actually kind. I think it wants to allow us to get in. Because you're going in there. And it keeps going. It keeps going. It keeps going. We are holding people behind. that truck was so benevolent, which is something that's not common with trucks. Yeah, those guys are looking at me. They give me the side eye, like, I'm sorry, it's not me. It's FSD. Sorry, but we're in a really bad spot right now. Yeah, they all keep giving me a side eye. They were all giving me the side eye. I can't wait to get my Meta glasses, and then I can record this kind of reactions for you, because I don't have a camera that's rolling on all angles for the car. Yeah, it's still looking at me. Wow. Once it's rush hour, people become very impatient, very extremely impatient. If that's an expression, yeah, they become extremely impatient. I want to see if it's going to recognize that sign. Nah, I think it's just a structure. Knew something was there, but couldn't tell exactly what it is. These are like the very wealthy neighborhoods of Vancouver. You see all this massive buildings. All these $3-4 million apartments. Did I say apartment? $3-4 million houses. So you see how it's gonna handle this particular place, because this the hedges, the bushes here, makes it a bit difficult to see. But I think you can get into the road and take this HOV lane before eventually merging on. Yeah. Then another thing. So the HOV lane here, they are only for buses. However, now in navigation, you can actually you can set it to use HOV lanes, right? So the question would be, would it recognize that? Because as you can see, with HOV on this one, what you have is HOV, bus, and bicycles, right? So would it recognize it and not use this one? Whereas other HOV lanes, like the one on Trans-Canada Highway, between Vancouver and I would say almost Abbotsford, thereabouts, yeah. Those ones are actually for like higher occupancy vehicles. In these cases, not just buses, but vehicles that have cars. If you have more than one passenger, at least 2 passengers and above, then you can use those HOV lanes. So I'm wondering how it's going to distinguish between that one and this one. Obviously, today, it has no business using that lane, so I can't really say anything. but I'm interested in seeing how it handles it in the future. I'm curious. Oh, it's supposed to make a left here, bro. It was supposed to make a left here. Wow. In this case, it has increased my arrival time. Okay, still fluctuating, but it has increased my arrival time. But in this case, it still makes sense. But why does FSD 14.2.1.25, it's a mouthful like I've been saying, why does it make this mistake? Why? Why? Now we're gonna be at a stoplight again, lined up behind these cars, when we should have gone in there and take a route that's faster, where I don't have to like line up. Now I'm gonna line up again like we did the other time. So you see, I don't know what's happening. The navigation still sucks, man. Can you imagine? Like now the car is waiting to make a left here, but the navigation has rerouted again, saying we should go straight ahead. Like why? Like why is that guy honking? You shouldn't be in the quadrant because you do not have a right to go yet. Now it has readjusted. Anyway, I have no explanation for this. It does not make sense, but that's what it has done. So 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on school days. There is no school anymore at this time. But like I like to do, once I'm anywhere that has anything that has to do with school, I drop it down to chill to make sure it's just doing the speed limit or exactly. So out of the woods now, back to Mad Max. As you guys would have noticed, I almost exclusively only drive with Mad Max, which should tell you how efficient it has been. So, okay, good. And it merged right at the correct spot. So usually you should not make the merge until you get to where you have the green patch, because that's where you are expected to have a conflict with a biker. So some people would merge on the solid white line before they get to that point. That is wrong. So it's nice to see FSD observing that correctly. Still on my argument about like the A pillar thing, right now, the guy in blue shirt is in my A pillar. I would not see him normally. Now he has gone out of it. But the car saw it. You know, the car sees him clearly. So, so when I make this complaint, I'm not Dan O'Dowd. I don't have any software to sell. I'm not competing with Elon in any way. So I can't even compete. He's not in my league, all right? So I'm complaining as a fan, as a lover of the tech. But then one who believes in, saying it as it is, and that like the best results come when we say it as it is, and the business owner responds appropriately. There are a bunch of laneway, I'm seeing more and more laneway houses. Oof, 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 oof. That was a slam on the yellow. Would you say that yellow light turned on, like switched to red too quickly? Or the car was just overly optimistic originally? I think it was being too optimistic. That's exactly like my bike. The same tires, just different colors. This is black, mine is white. This is part of the things that I love about this city, man. Today is December 22nd, I think. And you see people on the road. You see people on the road riding their bikes. Not just a few hardcore winter guys, lots of people. It's just speaks to the beauty and how nice it is, even when it's winter. It's not your typical winter, and that's why like we should I'm like, yeah, we should be here. You're not turning right, buddy. You're not turning yet. So guys, I'm almost at my destination. I'm here. I haven't been here in a while. This place has changed a lot. It used to be an empty plot of land here. The structure has improved, yeah. 4-story. Actually, fun fact, I lived in the building here a while back. I lived there for a month a few years ago. You should go on the road. Okay. I wanted to park in here. Well, it's not gonna. I don't know. It's going to try to go into the garage. So okay. It's fine. I'm coming here to do something. So even though I don't, it's the disabled parking spot. I'm allowed to park there. Anyway, smooth ride. Let me know your thoughts on this ride, and I will see you guys on the next one. Cheers.